You know that feeling, right? You land on a product page for some new piece of tech, and your eyes just glaze over. It's this wall of specs, numbers, and buzzwords. Well, today we're going to tackle that head on. We're going to deconstruct the official product page for the Acer Nitro 60 gaming desktop and figure out what all that jargon actually means for you, the gamer. Okay, let's dive in. And boom, the moment you get there, you're hit with this. It's like a blizzard of model numbers and acronyms. You've got AMD Ryzen 7 7700, NVIDIA GeForce RTX 5070, 98 AI TOPS, 32 GB DDR5. I mean, it's a language all its own, isn't it? And that really brings us to the most important question, the one that truly matters. Forget the numbers for a second. What does any of this stuff actually mean when you finally sit down to play your favorite game? Well, that's exactly what we're here to figure out. So let's start where any of us would, with first impressions. Before we even get into the power and all the guts inside, let's just take a look at the design of the machine itself. Okay, so the product page calls the look sleek and bold. It talks a lot about those vibrant, customizable ARGB lights. You know, the rainbow LEDs that are pretty much standard on gaming gear now. It also mentions aerodynamic contours and cooling air venting bezels, which, sure, they sound cool, but they also hint that this thing is designed for performance. And it's all packed into this 30-liter chassis that's clearly meant to be a statement piece on your desk. All right, looks are one thing, but let's be real, a gaming PC is all about the engine. So let's pop the hood and break down the three big things that make this machine go: the processor, the memory, and the storage. I actually love how they simplify these parts. So think of the CPU, that's the AMD Ryzen 7 7700, as the computer's brain. It's an Octa-Core engine, which means it's doing all the heavy lifting, all the decision-making. Then you've got the RAM, 32 gigs of the latest DDR5 memory. This is basically the computer's short-term workspace. It's what lets you game, stream, and have a bunch of browser tabs open all at the same time without things grinding to a halt. And completing this power trio is what we'll call the filing cabinet, a 2TB PCIe 4.0 solid-state drive, or SSD. This is where everything lives: your OS, your files, and most importantly, your giant library of games. The keywords here are SSD and PCIe 4.0, which just means it's incredibly fast. This is the component that absolutely slashes those loading screens we all hate. So we've covered the brain, the working memory, and the storage. But for a gaming PC, there is one component that truly defines the whole experience. Let's talk about the graphics powerhouse. And here it is. The page literally calls this the game changer. And honestly, they're not wrong. The NVIDIA GeForce RTX 5070 is the heart and soul of your visual experience. This is the piece of hardware that's responsible for creating those absolutely stunning, immersive worlds that we all love to get lost in. Now, the page throws this huge, kind of crazy-sounding number at you, 988 AI TOPS. Okay, what on earth is that? Well, TOPS stands for trillions of operations per second. It's a measure of AI processing power. It's a massive figure designed to grab your attention, for sure, but what does it actually do for you? So here's the deal. That big AI horsepower number isn't just for show. It translates directly into real-world benefits. It's built on NVIDIA's new Blackwell architecture, which means you're getting next-level graphics. It powers amazing features like DLSS 4, which is this clever AI trick that boosts your frame rates, making your games buttery smooth. And hey, if you're a creator, it also speeds up creative apps through NVIDIA Studio, so it's a win-win. All that power is fantastic, right? But it's totally useless if the machine overheats or if your internet connection is lagging. So now let's get into the practical stuff that keeps everything running smooth, the cooling and the connectivity. So to keep your frame rates high and your temperatures low, the page points out this dedicated CPU cooler. It uses special fan blades and copper heat pipes to physically pull heat away from the processor. And of course, because it's a gaming PC, even the cooling system is decked out with its own customizable ARGB lighting. You gotta love it. When it comes to getting online, you've got options. High-speed Wi-Fi 6 is great for a clean, wireless setup. But for competitive gaming, yeah, you're gonna wanna use that Gigabit LAN port to keep your pings low and your connection rock solid. There's also a ton of modern USB ports, with some easy access ones right on the front and some ultra-fast ones on the back for transferring files in a flash. Okay, so the specs. They look pretty impressive on paper, but what do actual shoppers think? You know, the people who have already spent their money on this thing. Let's move to our final section and see what the sales and review data on the page can tell us. First up, the customer review score. It's a 3.7 out of 5 from 39 ratings. Hmm. Now, in the PC gaming world where everybody has a strong opinion, a score like this isn't a total home run, but it's respectable. It kind of suggests a solid machine that works well for most people, but maybe has a few quirks that annoy the super hardcore users. It's the kind of score that tells you, hey, maybe read a few of the actual reviews before you buy.
Next up, it's sales rank, hashtag 560 in Tower Computers. Now, 560 might not sound amazing, but you have to remember that category has thousands and thousands of different options. So being in the top 600 actually means it's selling pretty well. It's a serious contender in a really crowded field.
And this is where the brand info adds some really important context. The page flags Acer as a top brand, and it shows data about high ratings, strong sales, and, this is a big one, a low return rate. So the takeaway here is that even if this one specific model has kind of mixed reviews, it comes from a brand that people generally trust and are happy with. For a buyer, that's like a little bit of a safety net. So after all of that, after decoding the specs and checking the reviews, there's one last, very practical question every single buyer needs an answer to before they click that Add to Cart button. What do you actually get?
Well, the What's in the Box section is short and sweet. You get the desktop, an external Wi-Fi antenna to help you get the best signal, and of course a power cord. Pretty much the bare essentials to get the machine up and running.
But here it is, the final crucial takeaway buried in the product description. A direct quote says, "Please note, keyboard and mouse are not included." And that is a critical piece of information. After navigating a whole sea of technical jargon, this one simple practical detail might just be the most important thing a new buyer needs to know. So, if you're thinking of picking one of these up, just remember, you've got to bring your own keyboard and mouse to the party.